Welcome to my Facebook Live. As you've been seeing for the last couple years, 2.5 years to be exact, I've been sharing my journey on how at 55 in a couple months, I've corrected my overall gut health, addressing my weight gain, addressing the medications I'm on, blood pressure, acid reflux, cholesterol, and being told that I was pre-diabetic and have to start taking metformin. So what the real mission here is, I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. As I continue to share all the stories, I want to share mine first because for those that know me, in my 20s and 30s as a DJ, I was a gym rat. So I was always, taking care of my health. But as I got into my late 30s, into my 40s, I got married, I started my family, and I started to neglect my health. But I was continuing that lifestyle of being a DJ. And, I've been blessed with my career to work with the likes of Shaquille O'Neal and work with Lennox Lewis, so many Ray Lewis from the Baltimore Ravens. And that lifestyle allowed me to travel the world and go to different airports and hotels and restaurants. What up, Teddy? What up, Sean? So why I'm sharing that with you is that lifestyle caught up to me because you're always eating in restaurants, you're eating in airports, you're eating at hotels. And when I stopped working out and watching my health, I paid the price with my health. December 30th, 2019, I was probably at the worst state of my health. I was over 300 pounds and I had a mild heart attack. And that was the big wake-up call for me. Reason why I share that, for everybody has a different rock bottom. And that was my rock bottom because, as I openly share, I'm an only child. I lost my father when I was 13 years old. So right away, that wake-up call was I didn't want my kids to have to deal with that. So I looked at addressing my health. I started to look at different programs because, like all of us, man, I've done the workout plans. I've done the personal trainer route, spending a couple $1,000s a month with the best trainers, ordering meal plans, the high protein, no carb diets. I've done all that. And the problem is, you can put your mind to it. And I'm not saying it doesn't work because it worked for me. But the problem was I couldn't live like that. I couldn't stay living where I'm watching my carbs, I'm watching my sugar intake, and I got to go work out. I just couldn't sustain that life with a young family. And I would rebound every time like so many of us. So, excuse me. I saw a friend of mine and I saw his transformation, somebody I trust because he was a guy I did real estate with. He trusted me back in the day, 15 years ago. And when I saw his transformation, I asked him what he was doing. And he simply introduced me to this protocol that you keep seeing me share. And today what we're going to do, real quick, I'm going to share what it is. But I want to bring in somebody that as soon as I went on this system, this protocol, which I'll explain what it is in a second, within the first couple of months, I started seeing my clothes fit looser. I started to see my energy boost. My wife noticed, wow, look at how you're waking up with all this energy and you're in a different mindset with the kids. That when my friends started seeing it, they trust me. So they said they want to try the system out. So what happened is as we start putting a lot of people on this program, the protocol worked. People started seeing all these different types of results. And at the time, we didn't really understand the science behind it. So when I started to understand what these two plant-based all-natural products were, I really started to understand what the real problem was. And I'm sure most of you would agree. The problem is the food we're eating. As I said, I'm going to be 55 in a couple months. So I can remember when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, we didn't have access to food like we do now. And I'll talk about fast foods. We didn't have food chains on every corner. We didn't have drive-thrus. We didn't have Tim Hortons on every corner. We didn't have Uber Eats. Our parents were cooking a lot more meals at home because we didn't have the internet. We didn't have debit cards. We didn't have credit cards you could tap. It was a cash world. And places would not accept if you wrote a check. So you were careful how you spent your money. So our parents would make sure we ate right at home. But the biggest one, when you look at the food industry, which is close to a $4 trillion industry, the problem is the foods we are eating. When you look at fruits, for example, I always like to use a strawberry as an example. If you look at the strawberries that we were eating in the 70s as kids, first thing, A lot of kids didn't like them because they were not big, juicy, and sweet like they are now. They were really small and they were sour. And most times to eat it, you would put sugar on it. That's the only way you would enjoy that. But look at a strawberry now. And the question I always ask is, did God do that? You know, no. They're doing stuff to our food. When you look at processed foods, that back in the day, we weren't eating processed foods every day. It was more of a treat. But now people will eat potato chips every day. But if you look at what these companies do to these potato chips, they make them more addictive. They have all these different flavors and they have it in your face everywhere you go. That's why we're so unhealthy. And it's not about to go in detail. If you want us to go in detail, reach out to us because we'll go more in detail on what these products are doing. But it's real simple. I'm having a tea in the morning and what it's done is replace my breakfast. And when you think about breakfast, everybody starts off their day because of life, fast-paced jobs and commitments with their families. They're not focusing on what they're eating. So it's real easy for them to suddenly give their kids cereals, go through a drive-through at Tim Hortons in Canada and get a bagel or get a donut with a coffee and put cream and sugar in it. But they're starting off their days with all this sugar. How can you become healthy when you keep putting all this sugar in you? So I don't have breakfast anymore. I have my tea of gods. What it does is extends my morning where it allows me, it doesn't make me want to snack and I'm satisfied because this tea of gods, real quick, it's an Argentinian tea leaf called yerba mate. This leaf, the only place you can get it is in the Brazil area. This leaf is the only leaf in the world that contains every mineral, nutrient, vitamin, and amino acid to sustain life. So we're getting it without the calories because ours is an extracted version. Now, people can go buy this on Amazon, but the problem is it tastes horrible and you got to boil it for 45 minutes. Ours is purified and extracted. We're getting it at 75 times the strength. But what this is doing when I have it, satisfies me. It's giving me all the nutrients, vitamins, minerals, aminos that I need to sustain life. But it's also boosting my energy because when you check what yerba mate does, it's a natural boost without a crash. It's a suppressant to cravings like which have sugar in them, and it's a suppressant to caffeine. But then it's extending my fast. So as soon as I break my fast around lunchtime, before I eat my meals, I'm putting a premium fiber in my body. This is a blend of 7 different fibers, and all this is doing is helping control the way we digest our food. Our bodies are designed to convert bad calories like sugar. As long as we're not carrying a calorie count or storing fat, we can convert those bad calories to natural energy. That's what we're doing with this fiber. We take this, we suck it back as you see me with all our meals. It tastes good. It's like a creamsicle taste. And it's giving me an inner liner in my gut. So that doesn't matter what I'm eating. It's being contained in my gut for an hour or so. And whatever nutrients it can get out of those calories, it gets. And then it converts the rest to natural energy, not being stored. That way, when you look at fasting from hour 12 and beyond, and we're going to about 16 hours. So for those extra 4 hours, we're no longer in a fasting mode. We're in a fat burning mode. And then throughout the day, I just have a second tea. This system allowed me in the first 6 months to drop about 40 pounds. Within 1 year, I was down over 80 pounds. I've been on it for 2.5 years. In the 2.5 years, I've been able to maintain a weight loss for the last 2 years of 75 pounds without dieting, without any types of medications, without our injection drugs, weight loss injection drugs, or any of these different programs that people have with pills. It's all natural. So this is the secret right here. And all we're doing, we're just sharing our journeys because one person at a time, now we have thousands. We are going to help people address their gut health. Most importantly, something called insulin resistance. Again, I don't want to go and become a specialist or a scientist today. I just want to continue to share stories and let you see how this has helped people. I have so many people that trusted me and tried the system out. Some were very skeptic. Some just went ahead. The person I'm going to bring on today, a friend that's been a supporter of mine as a DJ for over 35 years, but I got to meet personally during the COVID years when I was streaming on Twitch. And he became one of my regulars and he saw my journey. I want to bring Teddy on because I think when you start hearing different stories and see different ways that people have corrected their health, especially at our age in our 50s, it's just a way to encourage you to say, hey, man, give this system a try. Because the other thing I want to share with you, this system is affordable. When we talk about today, most of you probably went through a drive-thru or went and had lunch somewhere. You spent more than, these are $1.90 a packet, under $2 a packet. We're having 3 a day. So under $6 a day. Most people spent more than that today somewhere. So we know it's affordable. So I want to bring Teddy on. Let me invite Teddy in here. Oh, okay, here it is. Because I would love for you to continue to hear different journeys. That's why we're going to be doing this every day, whether we're here on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're sharing stories. So first and foremost, Teddy, thank you for coming. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Same thing the last time. I can hardly, but you know what?
Yeah, that's why I had to do my.
No, I hear you now. I hear you now.
Okay, cool.
So first and foremost, as I mentioned, I've known Teddy personally now for the last couple of years. I've gotten to personally get to know him and his family. And I always share, you know, as you get older in life, you try and surround yourself with people that are just positive. So Teddy has a solid, you know, family life. Beautiful kids, they're grown, you know, that one of his daughter is now officially a firefighter, so congratulations, because you always want to throw flowers to the parents that there's a lot of work to get your kids to that stage. And the reason why I share that, you know, his kids are in competitive sports, but what people don't realize when you're living that kind of lifestyle, you start to neglect your health.
Yeah.
And I want to share that because I think away from your amazing journey you've seen with the protocol, people need to understand that it wasn't easy. There's a reason why you got to the stage you were, and there's a reason why you're at now. So first of all, thank you for coming. First, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, like you said, all my kids play competitive sports, right? My daughter, who's now a firefighter, used to swim competitively. She was on the track, you know, make national team, but because of injuries, whatever. My boys both play rep hockey, and anybody who's a hockey parent knows, you know, you're just busy with it, right? And like you said, my own health took the back burner. So for like 20 years, you know, I gained so much weight, body aches and pains. And, you know, a couple years ago, my doctor told me at my yearly physical that I had high blood pressure, right? And if I didn't get that under control, that he'd have to prescribe me medication for it. And I didn't want to do that, right? Because, you know, I know a lot of people that are on multiple medications daily to take care of blood sugar, cholesterol, blood pressure. So I didn't want to go down that route. And, you know, it was lucky that I met you, like you said, I've known of you for 30 years because of the parties that you used to throw, but we got closer a couple years ago, and us getting close, hanging out, I noticed that you were starting to lose weight, right? And I'll tell the story about that. My one birthday, New Year's Eve party, you came to my house, you DJ'd my birthday party, and me being Filipino, we had a big spread, lots of food, and you played by yourself, DJ'd my birthday party for like I say 6, 7 hours straight. You hardly ate anything, and you had energy throughout the whole night, and even after you weren't hungry. So, and on top of that, you're losing weight. So I had to ask you what you're doing. So you shared with me that protocol, and you're right. I was skeptical. I was probably
Oh,
one of
oh,
one of the most skeptical, right? And but you know, I said, you know, worst case, it won't work like the other systems and things that I tried to lose weight on. So I might as well try it. So I'm glad I did because, you know, it just really, in the first 9 weeks, I lost 18 pounds. My body aches and pains went away. And it just rolled from there. Like if I show you, you know, so I've been on it over in March, it was 2 years now. I've been on it for 2 years, and I've been able to lose 40 pounds, drop 10% body fat. And when I went to my yearly physical last year, my doctor said my blood pressure was back to normal. So no medication for me. So I'm 51 years old now on no prescribed medication. And I look and feel better than I did in high school. Like you can see my
look
before and
at that.
afters. Like my before picture, that's literally 2 years ago at a family vacation in Punta Cana. And my after, that was within a year of being on the protocol. So, you know, I'm wearing pant size 29, which is smaller than I wore in high school. Yeah, and look at you. So yeah, so I met you. You were like in the red shirt, right? And then pretty much like when you played at my birthday party, that's what you got down to. So I said, "What are you doing? I have to do it."
So once I introduced it to you, um, you were skeptical.
Mhm.
What were you skeptical about? Like once you at some point, the traditional, oh, okay, this is just another program. What finally made you decide you were going to try it?
Well, yeah, I was skeptical, and because you always hear these things. Oh, you'll drink this, do this, you'll lose weight, and it's so easy, so easy. And I was like, nah, skeptical. So I did my own research. So I started looking into it, and you educated me on the product, and it seemed it was lit. It was all natural, right? It's plant-based, right? It was approved by Health Canada. It was affordable, and I said, like there's no reason for me not to try, right? Like I've tried other crazy things.
So let me ask you, let's just talk about the traditional way. So were you one of the guys that did the workout program,
Yeah.
the diet, cutting out the carbs, high protein,
Yep. Yep. Eating cheese and eggs and meat and no carbs,
the
like
high
nothing.
fat, high
Yeah.
protein
High fat. Yeah.
diets,
Yeah. All of
like,
that.
and what I want to be clear, that stuff does work. The problem is you go 3, 4 months and then you start falling off because it's hard to sustain that type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Now,
No,
there are some
exactly.
people in this world that can do it.
Hmm.
They can do it, and all the credit to them.
Yep.
I'm the first one to admit I tried.
Yep.
I'd last 4 or 5 months and then I rebound, right?
Yeah.
And I
And
think
that,
that's the
yeah.
story for everybody, including yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. And that's what this program or this system or this protocol is. It's sustainable. Like it's so simple. Like, they talk about simplicity equals consistency. This is this program. And I've been on it for over 2 years now. And it's sustainable. I've been able to maintain that weight loss. Before I was a yo-yo dieter, right? You'd lose a little bit, and then you gain it all back, lose a little bit, gain it all back. Consistently kept this weight off. So it's great.
And the first time you tried it, how did it taste?
Tastes amazing. The tea's like a lemon tea. Like if you put it on ice, it's like Nestea iced tea, right? And at that time, the fiber was the orange creamsicle. Now they even got a new flavor, the mixed berry. That we buy the mixed berry now. We like that one even better. So
And when people ask you, Teddy, what are you doing? What do you say?
I tell them, I got control of my gut health and my insulin resistance, and I'm on this all natural protocol that helps intermittent fasting so easy.
And your family, what did they say when you first started this?
They were like they're skeptical too. They're like, in the beginning when they said, "What are you drinking?" Like they see me drinking the fiber before the meals. We sit down for meals. They're like, "Oh, it's just the fiber I take before my meals. Helps me control my blood sugar and my insulin." They're like, "Oh, okay, oh, yeah, okay, whatever." And they eat. And then a few months, like no, a few weeks into it, so like I'd say about 5, 6 weeks, people are like, "Whoa, it's really working!" Like you can see it in my face. My face has gone down. Like I have before and after pictures within I'd say 4 weeks, and you can really tell the difference, right? So a lot of them jumped on it too. So
And when you think about now that you understand what's happening with people being sick, there's a real stat, 93% of society is metabolically unhealthy. And a lot of people, including myself, probably didn't understand what being metabolically unhealthy was. But what they're saying is 93% of society is either suffering from being pre-diabetic and not even knowing it, or already have type 2 diabetes. They have high blood pressure. They have high cholesterol. Everybody is dealing with inflammation. And when you start to understand what inflammation does to our bodies, that's what's creating a lot of these aches and pains that we have. It doesn't allow us to recover when we are injured. And the big one, weight gain, as we get older, because as I was sharing before I brought you on, the real problem is the food industry. It's what we're eating, and we can't control that. Food
yeah,
has changed, the quality of food, whether it's processed food, whether it's vegetables, or whether it's meats. They're just not the same anymore. And we
exactly.
can't control what that $1 trillion industry is doing. but we found the solution. You know, we're addressing the root cause. And when people really see it happen for themselves, like, you know, I'm at the point now when people ask me, you either trust me or you don't, because so many people are going and trusting a gym. They're paying a trainer they probably never met before. And then they're allowing a trainer to tell them, hey, go get this meal plan or go to this food place and buy a bunch of chicken breasts. So you're trusting them.
Yeah.
Trust us. We have a proven we have a proven health solution that's addressing metabolic health. Our stories are what we're going to continue to share, one person at a time. And now, you know, 2.5 years ago when we first started this, it really was one person at a time. But now we've got hundreds of thousands of people on this system around the world. And we continue to tell people, try the protocol. It's affordable at $1.90 Canadian or $1.70 US. You're taking it 3 times a day. So it's $5 to $6, depending where you are located in the world. It works. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee. When your doctor writes you a prescription, do they give you a money-back guarantee? When you go to Healthy Planet or Natural Source and buy a whey protein, a creatine, do they say, hey, if it doesn't work in 90 days, come on back and we'll give you a money-back, 90-day money-back guarantee? We're doing that here. That's how much this company believes in it. Real quick, just to share a little bit about the history about this, something I didn't know until I got involved and started doing my own research. I didn't realize this is a 100-year-old company. This is not a, you know, a lot of people, because of my history of being an entrepreneur, a lot of people come up to you and think that I'm the one that started this. And I said, no, no, no. This is a 100-year-old company. This was Rexall Pharmaceutical before it was bought out and renamed to Unicity. They have so much history in this business. And as we continue to share all these testimonies, it's great that we share the testimonies, but this protocol is backed by science. We have dozens of clinical studies by world-renowned universities. For example, the #1 silent killer in this world is heart disease. And heart disease, I'm a victim of it. As I mentioned earlier before Teddy came on, you know, I had that mild heart attack. I had high blood pressure for 13.5 years. I've normalized. I was just showing somebody in the office, my resting rate on my watch right now, it's hard to see, but it's showing 72 right now. And I think it's because I'm a bit excited. But you know, my resting rate used to be a minimum of 120.
Wow. That's
Like
crazy.
that's supposed to be your rate when you're highly active.
Yeah.
That's how bad I was. Now it's normalized. So we know it works. But the reason why I say the heart disease research, that's the Cleveland Clinic. They're #1 in the world for heart disease. And they have a report that we have access to show and share with people where it says that our Tea of Gods helps normalize heart disease. And we're all products of it.
Took my blood pressure last Friday.
See, and I know you mentioned that you were borderline dealing with that.
Oh
You had
yeah.
higher blood.
Yeah, he's because when I was my yearly physical 2 years ago, I was man, I was like high 120s over 80. So like almost 130. So he was like, if I don't get that under control, medication. Boom.
You know, it's funny. I'm always honest to tell people. I obviously did this for weight loss when I heard about it, but when I started hearing my doctor tell me because of my mild heart attack, I was going to a cardiologist for checkups, and all my results would be sent to my family physician. And this was during COVID, so I wasn't going to my doctor in person. It was all being done through email. And he naturally thought, because I've been going to him since 1990 for 35 years, he thought, oh wow, good for you, Carlos. You're back on your workout. You must be got your diet plan going. And I'm like, no, doc, I'm on this thing, you know, this program. And when I tried to explain it to him, he didn't even care. He goes, you know, at the end of the day, blood work doesn't lie. And continue doing what you're doing. But we fast forward, by month number 9 of being on this system, he was saying, I'm going to start bringing your dosage down on your blood pressure pills. And by month 14, I was completely off them, and I've now been off them for over 1.5 years now. I'm off of all my medications. Again, I was doing this for weight loss, and yeah, I dropped a maximum of about 82 pounds when I checked with a scale, but I've been monitoring it every couple months, and I've been staying at an average of 75-pound weight loss. That was without any working out, no dieting, and no any type of diet pills.
Mm.
And what I've started doing, and I've maintained that for a year, almost going on 2 years now. But what I started doing in December, I'm going to the gym, but my workouts, majority of my workouts, if not the lightest weight, it's all body weight. I'm doing 5 exercises. I'm walking on a treadmill, nothing crazy, because I want to have part 2 of my transformation, because I feel I probably plateaued at that number. And now I'm excited to do it. But the biggest one, I used to have skin tags all around all here would be in skin. I'd have easily 20, 30 skin tags. They're all gone. When someone is pre-diabetic, they have a black ring around their neck. It's gone.
Mm.
My skin is totally clear. So when my skin is like I'm in my 20s again.
Yeah.
It's glowing, right? Because when you start to understand insulin resistance and understand inflammation affects your skin.
Yeah.
Adult acne. These are things that now I'm like, oh, okay, there's so many other things happening with me. And I think that's a lot of us. Like, I'm not sure when you first decided to do this, was it because of weight loss, or were you trying to, like, I want to say it was probably because weight loss. You saw me with my weight
Yeah.
loss.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Weight loss, I had a big belly, right? I didn't like the way I looked, didn't like the way I felt, and because of my high blood pressure. So I knew. So there's like my big belly. Same vacation, playing beach volleyball with my son, big belly, and
Look at
within a
that.
year I was able to get rid of it.
And let me
So,
ask you this: when you were a teenager,
mm.
did you have abs?
Nah, no, no, not really.
And in your 20s, did you have
No,
abs?
oh, no,
So,
not in my 20s.
so you're 51 now, and you got
Yeah,
abs. Your
yeah,
abs are popping now.
yeah. They're peeking out. Yeah.
We can't make that up, man.
I know Filipino, like this, there's not many Filipinos that have abs because all the rice we eat, right? So I'm still able to eat rice and I still can show a little bit of abs. It's unbelievable.
So, hey Teddy, man, what would be your message to anybody that sees this? Because this is going to be posted after, and I've got a big demographic, so I know people are going to watch this. What would you
Yeah.
want to tell them about our protocol?
Your body is giving you signs. Do not ignore those signs. And we have the easiest way to fix it. It's very simple. It's affordable. There's there's no reason why you should be ignoring those symptoms and you should address them. Address them now because, like I said, I was a ticking time bomb. We're all ticking time bombs. We never know when that bomb is going to go off. So get on it and address your health.
And to just add something there, Teddy, at our age, another person just died, 56 years old. Every week, like I've been seeing on average 1 to 2 people for the last 5 weeks pass away
Oh yeah.
under the age of 60.
Well, in the
And
last year, how many funerals have you been to?
last year I went to, and I want people to really hear what I'm saying. I went to 6 funerals in a 5-week period for people that were 54 to 52 years old. But this is the part that's crazy. All 6 of those people were people I went to school with, whether it was public school, junior high school, or high school. Our parents did not go through that.
No.
And we know why. It's the foods we're eating. That's what happened. That's why I went to that many funerals. And now, again, today, another one.
Another
Last week, it
one
was
today?
2. And today, there was another death, right?
Yeah.
56 years old, this gentleman. And I already know it's insulin resistance. I don't want to officially say what it is to put it out there, but I already know what the problem is.
Yeah.
Everybody that's been passing has been because of insulin resistance. And we know why. It's the food. So as we say, we have something that's not putting a bandage fix on this. When people are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and your doctor prescribes metformin, that's a bandage fix. That is not correcting the root cause, the problem. We're doing that here.
Yeah.
Reach out, man. I want to get you started and continue to watch us on lives. We're doing this every day on all different platforms because our mission now is to help one person at a time because it's working. It works. You got to trust us. If you don't trust us, unfollow us. It's real, as simple as that. Well, I'm at this age now. I don't know about you, Teddy. I'm not trying to sell myself to anybody. You
Yeah.
know, if you don't believe or trust what I'm doing and you think this is some kind of scam or gimmick, that's your right in your opinion to feel like that. Delete yourself because we know what we're doing. We know the
Right.
you know, Teddy's already getting the same feelings I'm getting when you're helping people. It's
Yeah.
not about this business. It's not about how, yeah, there's a business that we're getting you know, we're getting rewarded for. I don't even care about that. The best feeling is to know someone says, hey man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me because I was in a bad place
Yeah.
and you've helped me. That's what our real mission is here. The
That's the
rewards
best
come
feeling.
when you do good in life, rewards come.
Yeah.
So
100%.
hey man, appreciate you. Thank you. Keep
All right,
sharing
man.
your
No.
journey.
Yes,
And I
sir.
think your journey's still continuing
Oh yeah.
because you know, you know, Teddy's got like part two to his transformation. He's working out now. He's back playing sports. You know, I got to bring my son because you know my son likes the court now. So
Yeah.
you know, let
We
you
need to
guys
get
go
it
at that
together.
because I tried to go out there the other day, bro, and I was like, you know what I actually thought? I want to be honest. I was like, with my luck, I'm gonna go out there and sprain my
Yeah.
ankle.
I know.
I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I just don't want. I don't want to take that chance, right?
Yeah. Tell Zayden I'll meet up with him. I got him.
So Teddy, man, thank you. Thank you for trusting me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm glad now you're out there and people need to start trusting you as they
Yeah.
are, right?
It's the best feeling when people, message you. What all of a sudden just message you, man, I'm down 20 pounds. I'm like, awesome,
Hutch,
right?
what up?
So,
So, hey, Teddy, thank you. If anybody else wants to come on, let me know. I'll bring you on quick because I'm going to spend about 5 more minutes. But thank you, Teddy.
all right, Los, thanks,
And
man.
again, as I keep mentioning to everybody, man, the mission here, do I have to end you?
Now I'll go.
Remove.
Peace out.
Thanks. As I keep mentioning, man, this protocol is so simple. 2 products. This is replacing your breakfast. It's naturally making you not want to snack. It suppresses the urge for any kind of cravings around sugar. It's actually a suppressant for caffeine. So if you're a coffee drinker, you won't drink coffee anymore. You won't need it because this is going to actually make you not want it. But the best part, it gives you an energy boost to just take you through the morning where you're actually still in a fasting mode. And while you're in that fasting mode, you're getting an energy boost. You have no brain fog. Then I break my fast and I have my fibers. So when I bring my fibers on, I'm gonna bring my boy. I have my fibers. This is just helping me digest my food. And it makes me feel full. It's addressing things like cholesterol. It's addressing my blood pressure. It's addressing weight loss. Then I just have another tea. Under $6 a day. Come on and get on it. Let me bring my boy on here real quick before we end this live because our mission here is to continue to just share different journeys and help people understand that we're not trying to sell them anything. We're just trying to show people that we have a system that works. It's all natural. It's affordable. It's approved by the health department. We have a 90-day money-back guarantee. It's clinically backed by studies by world-renowned universities. It works. Sean, what up, man? Welcome in. Real talk, I've known Sean now for about 6 months through this protocol. And as Teddy had a crazy story, so does Sean. So Sean, real quick, man, what's
Sure.
the protocol done for you?
Yeah, I was pretty sick last year, a lot of silent killers. So I went to my doctor. I didn't know what was wrong. And he told me, you've got very high blood pressure, very high cholesterol. I was already taking anxiety medication for several years. And then he said, you've got a fatty liver. And he said, if you were my family member, I'd tell you to never have another drink again. And you got to clean up your eating and exercise more. Here's some prescriptions. Good luck. Right. And I'm not one to diet, not one to, too much exercise. I've got a very busy career. So I travel a lot and entertaining clients. So, bad eating habits and a lot of drinking. And then I just started, and I was kind of lost and desperate. And then a good friend of mine, a mutual friend actually of ours, very successful restaurant business owner here in the Toronto area of California sandwiches. I just started seeing him post on Instagram every day, weight loss. He was losing a ton of weight. And, I reached out to him and I said, hey, I had trust in him. So I didn't really do research or anything like that. I said, whatever you're taking, I need that. And how do I get started? So I got started right away. This was last October. And without my doctor's direction, I threw out the medications just because I started to research the success stories of people that were, also on this protocol. And happy to say with just shy of 90 days, and remember the medication medication that the doctor told me I'd be on, he said I'd be on these for life, right? So within 90 days, I dropped over 20 pounds. I got off all three medications, no problem. I reversed my fatty liver. I did it all naturally. And when I went up for a checkup, he's like, all your blood work is amazing. I haven't seen that in 40 years in my practice. What are you doing? Same conversation I had it with him right over his head, right? They're not doctors of nutrition. So he said, keep continuing that. I wasn't a really big guy, but I was very inflamed. I had a big belly, a lot of inflammation, joint pain, a lot of fat around the neck and face. And in 90 days, I really slimmed down. I've been on the protocol now. I think this is coming up to month number 7. So, just like you, I'm just trying to spread the word, not, trying to come on and sell people anything. Look at that, man.
We can't make this up. This is what this mission is. We're just continuing to share stories. I'm going to continue with you, Rob, real quick, man. What's the protocol done for you? Because you're another one that your story is like, I'm going to let you share it, because for a lot of people, they probably don't believe it.
Oh, it's definitely real. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, so for me, I started during the pandemic. My heaviest, I was 424. I'm 6'3", but I was like, I have to do something, because it's terrible for your heart. So I started walking, just getting off the couch, started doing some walking, even if it was 15, 20 minutes. And then a friend of mine mentioned intermittent fasting. I was trying that. I lost some weight, and then I hit a plateau. I went to go see my doctor, and he's like, you wanted to put me on an injectable. And I'm like, there's got to be another way. So I was on Instagram, and I saw a gentleman drinking the tea, the protocol. So I reached out to him, and I asked him, I said, what's going on here? He's like, well, it goes really well with intermittent fasting. He's like, you're walking, you're already fasting. He goes, you implement this tea in the morning, and it'll get you to where you want to go. So I was drinking the tea. I was not eating till lunch. Alert. I used to have high blood pressure. I used to be pre-diabetic. I had brain fog and terrible sleep apnea for over 10 years. The tea gave me mental clarity, focus. I woke up, wasn't thinking about food. I work construction, so you got to have a really good night's sleep, and you got to be alert. And then I just have my lunch, and then I have another tea, and then that fiber before my biggest meal. I'm Italian. The dinner is the big meal. And that fiber for me has been the key. I eat what I like. It just helps me eat less. And, it helps me go to the bathroom. Before I wasn't going on a daily. And to this date, I'm astonished too, but it's true, and it's ongoing. I'm on a mission to lose 200 pounds, and I'm going to document it.
Do you have your before and after there?
So
this is crazy. This is crazy when you see this. This here, can't make this up.
It's the real deal, Holyfield, and it was on me because I gained all the weight. But one day I woke up and I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it all started with a belief, just started moving. So, yeah, this is my before and after. This is 2020, the summer of 2020, where I was on my way to 500. And now I'm down to 165, just under 165, and on a mission to go lower and lower. And
you've lost 165 pounds, right?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
So,
that number.
So you lost the amount of weight that the guy that was on before, Teddy.
I lost it. At one point it was 150. I lost to Teddy in a good way. And I'm just gonna, the thing is, I continue to walk, I continue to fast, and it's simple. I implemented this, and it just accelerated it. And no more brain fog, no more caffeine addiction, steady throughout the day. Even at night, sleeping.
The first time you tried it, what did you think of the taste of it?
Oh, it was a little bit of an adjustment because I was coming from coffee all the time. I tried green tea by itself before this. Then I added honey, and I was struggling. But once I found this and I tried it, the taste, I was enjoying it. And it was just, I felt it like right away. When I'd wake up, I'd have the tea, and I'd drive right by the Tim Hortons, right by the McDonald's. get to work,
Were
not even thinking about
were you a
food.
person that would go through a drive-through in the mornings before
Oh,
work?
easily I would spend $10 to $15 before I'd even get to work. So not anymore. Now I drive past. My coworker wants to stop. I don't even get out of the truck. I don't order. I got my tea with the water. I'm boring, but no more energy drinks, no more pop, none of that sugary nonsense. I drink this tea all day, but I've been doing it for over 2 years. And the other day, a female coworker that's known me over this journey, she's like, Rob, your skin is amazing. As a man, I don't look at my skin. I don't even think about that. But when a female points it out to you, and then she's like, yeah, you know what? I got to start this protocol. And I'm like, you waited. Now's a good time. So, yeah, it's been.
And again, it's funny because the first summer after I was on the system, I was going on, in my industry, we do boat cruises in the summer months. And every time I saw people, the males, like one of my homeboys, like, he's a rougher guy. And it was the funniest thing that he said. Like, he was just looking at me. It was the first time seeing me in person since I was on the protocol, about 6 months in. And he was just looking at me. It was so funny that I said, man, you know what? We got to redo that, because what you just did is so funny, because he was like, hey, man, first of all, I can't believe how you look. I thought maybe it's just, some Photoshop and all that. But he goes, I don't mean to be like a homo or not like that, man. But your skin, man, look at your skin. Like, your skin looks good. Because, again, I was a guy that used to have all those skin tags around here. They're gone. That's all gone. And he was looking at that. He was like, yo, dude, your skin looks healthy. Like, what is it you're doing? And that's what we're trying to do, because I'm sure you get that all the time. I know, Sean, you're probably getting that now. People are like, hey, man, you're looking healthier. It's not so much the weight sometimes. They see your skin glowing. Right. Because when we're controlling sugar is the root of all evil. It's the silent killer for everything. And one of the things that's really people don't talk about is inflammation. Inflammation is not just aches and pains. Inflammation is in our skin. It's what creates adult acne. It's what creates skin tags. So people don't realize, because we're addressing the root cause, which is sugar, we're seeing a benefit with inflammation. We're seeing a benefit with weight loss. We're seeing a benefit of, I just shared a video a couple weeks ago of my wife, that my boy D-Ro, we were in LA, and we had a suite, and I was snoring so loud that he videoed it to send it to my wife. This is about 7-8 years ago, to say, like, what is going on here? How do you live with this guy? Right?
The bear. You were a bear.
Like, how do you
I
live?
was too.
In the video, he called me like, how do you live with this gremlin? Like, I don't understand. And it was funny. My wife, I had never seen the video, and my wife showed it to me recently, because my wife goes, you should send this to D-Ro, because I recorded you last night, and I'm not snoring anymore. Right? To your point, sleep apnea. Like, what's weird? For the way I snore, I've done sleep apnea tests probably 10 times, and I was never diagnosed with it. And I gotta wonder, was it just lazy people at when they do these tests in the hotel for overnight? Like, do they care? Do they not care? Because I was never diagnosed with it, but I have all the signs of it. When you hear me snore, it's like I'm choking on my own snore, on my breath. Anyway, so that's all we're doing, man. We want to continue to share. Before we wrap up, what would you want to tell somebody about what we're doing? Without, like, we're not here to sell anybody anything. We're here to help people now. We want to share these amazing results that we're seeing. It's not about weight loss. It's about just feeling better, being in a better mental state of mind, because we feel good. When you drop weight and you start addressing all these other health conditions that we didn't realize can be addressed, you start feeling mentally in a better place. You feel good about yourself. So what would you want to say to somebody, both of you guys, before we wrap the call up?
Go ahead, Sean.
Biggest thing to see results on this is have trust in the person that introduced it to you, like I did, and just stay consistent, because it's the easiest thing to take. And like you said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And if you're a skeptic like I was, try it out, and I guarantee if you stick to it, your blood work will normalize like mine. So consistency is key, and have belief in the protocol.
Do people ever ask you guys, okay, so how long do we have to do this for?
How long do you do anything for? You brush your teeth every morning, you try and eat an apple a day, right? This is something for life for me now.
And would you say you're actually, even though we say it's under $6 a day, don't you notice you're actually saving more money? Because you're not doing groceries anymore as much. You're not eating out as much anymore because, you know, I ask this question to people. Can you guys be at home and make a meal for $1.90?
You know, I was saying earlier, Carlos, to a friend of mine, I challenged him. I said, go find me anything in the store. I don't care, grocery, gas station, supermarket. Find me anything you can buy for under $2. Nothing, especially a drink. Bottle of water is $3-4. So, you know, the huge benefit is, yeah, okay, $6 a day, but I'm saving hundreds of money. I know I am, because I was buying all kinds of desserts, treats, snacks to keep me satisfied. And let's be real, globally, prices of groceries have skyrocketed. Like, my wife comes home with one bag. She's like, this is $100 and whatever dollars. I'm like, we don't have anything. So this will help you save money in the long run, but get you healthy, right? Where even if you're trying to buy healthy products, fruits and vegetables, it's not as healthy as we think, right? Like you were saying, the size of our fruits and strawberries and that. So not only is it saving my life, it's helping me save money, which is who doesn't want to save money, right?
Will it be is this a lifetime journey for you now? It's with you for life?
1,000,000%. I would never, you know, I have never missed one day. And this is something I'll take to the grave.
Rob, real quick, what would you want to share with somebody that to encourage them to look at your journey, to look at, you know, I think when most people hear a guy was 424 pounds, to hear that guy has lost 165 pounds and still going 2 years into a program, like most people won't believe that, right? But unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are in your situation that just don't have belief. What would you want to tell them?
Well, it all starts, first of all, with small changes and trying something to see if it works. You'll never know. And all you got to do is make little changes. You got to start moving. It starts with a belief. And you basically have nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain. And if you could sleep better and you could eat less and you could feel better for under $6 a day with a 90-day money back guarantee on top, it just made sense. Like,
you know, you go to a gym right now, and again, I come from an era when I was into that bodybuilding world in the 80s, and there was no such thing as a pre-meal workout drink. That wasn't even available. You couldn't go buy that. For us, there was ways of cheating to get an energy boost. You have a black coffee, or you pop estrogen pills, which is bad for you, but that's how we would get energy. But these guys are spending $10-12 before they work out on these filler drinks that actually do nothing. They're getting a rush from the sugar, so they're actually spiking their insulin level to go work out. And then I'm guilty of this. Right after a workout, if I'm rushing, I'm going to have a whey protein drink. And I thought I was buying a good quality one, but when I actually now go back and look at what I was buying, I was paying more money for it as a premium. 90% of the ingredients in the whey protein I was buying, which was a diesel product, was fillers. So it's not even working.
And what are the costs of those things? They're not cheap, right?
I actually did a video. So up until when I started this protocol, my wife used to average $120 for a 5-pounder every month, because a 5-pounder. My morning used to be a protein shake, banana with peanut butter and cinnamon. That was what I did pretty much my whole life. So my wife would buy that. You know, my wife actually went and bought it more as, it's funny, I had not had that protein shake in over 2 years. And as a treat, I said to her, I go, I know it's filler, but I want to have my balance, and I want a banana peanut butter. And Sean, you know, I just got that special peanut butter. So she didn't buy a 5-pounder, she bought a 2-pounder. I said, I want to just have it as a taste. No different than my wife was a coffee drinker. She hasn't had coffee now. She used to drink 4 or 5 coffees every morning as a school teacher. Now it's a treat for her. So because I like the taste of that combination of peanut butter, chocolate whey protein with a banana and cinnamon, I'm having it as a treat now, not as what I thought was a way of life. That picture I showed you showed that it didn't work, right? So again, that's all we're doing, man. I appreciate you guys for coming on as we keep sharing online. We're going to continue doing this every single day on all platforms. Reason why we like coming on Facebook. Facebook, for a lot of us that are in our 40s and 50s, there's a lot of people that are as our followers, our friends and families, co-workers that are very sick. You need to trust us. You need to give this a chance. You have nothing to lose. There's a 90-day money-back guarantee. You can't say it's expensive. Everybody can afford $6 because if we were to go and look at your daily lifestyle, you're probably spending more than that on garbage. So you definitely can afford it. And give this a try because we have to stop seeing people die because we're seeing it every day. I'm seeing it every day. Like I've got 2 funerals. And you know what's sad? Today was the first time I actually didn't post about the guy because I said to myself, I don't feel like posting it because I keep posting people passing away. And it's become like, it's sad that I was like, I don't feel like posting right now because it's like I'm posting more about that than I am about other stuff in life.
Crazy.
And we got to change that. And we have a solution now. We're attacking the root cause of insulin resistance. We're doing it all naturally. Approved by the health department, affordable, backed by science. Just try the protocol. Hey guys, I appreciate you guys. Both of you guys continue your journeys. We're gonna have you back on again. I'll be on their lives, and we're gonna start bringing customers on because there's so many customers that when they're comfortable, they want to share their story because they understand what we're doing now. The more, Fiona's on here. As a female, she was dealing with PMS and psoriasis for the last 30 years, and in 9 months, it's gone. So that's all we want to do. We want to just continue these stories and help people. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time, and make sure you hit the follow button for everybody and continue to watch our journeys. Thank you for your time.
Take care.